Reclaiming My Life. The views expressed on the program may not reflect the opinions of WBTK, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Domestic violence, grief, sexual abuse, homelessness, drug addiction, promiscuity, hope for help, depression, business are just some of the subjects discussed today on Reclaiming My Life with the author of Amazon's #1 best-selling book, Reclaiming My Life. Here's television and radio host Claudia Massey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, and thank y'all so much for tuning in today to the Reclaiming My Life show. Look, y'all, I'm super excited today because I have the beautiful Miss Stacey Thomas joining me online. Let me tell y'all, she is a creative speaker. She's a storyteller. She's the founder of Stacey Thomas Unrestricted Unlimited LLC. She's an author. She is an ALS advocate, talk show and radio host. Let me tell you, she's an independent film producer. The list goes on and on and on and on, y'all. She does all the things, and she does them very well. Welcome, Stacey Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, beautiful.
You are so welcome. I'm excited to have you here. Look, let me tell y'all, we go way back. We go way back, and I'm going to have to start with author because I met this beautiful woman when I was purchasing her books, y'all, because I love a little spice, and I love that she keep it spicy. So we're going to start off with these books and talk about these books. Sins of the Flesh. She have books 1 and 2. Come on now. And Secrets of a Suburban Chick. Talk to us about those books and what inspired them, Miss Stacey.
Oh my goodness, Miss Claudia. You made me laugh.
We're going to start it off, y'all, with some spice.
What started the books? Actually a dare. I was writing stories and sharing with my friends, and then one day someone said, "You're afraid to become successful?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, you're afraid. Why do you want to keep sharing stories with us? And he actually told me, Miss Claudia, "I don't want to read any more of your stories, Stacey. Show me when you have a book." So the stories that came to me, they are centered around lust, love, temptation, sin, things that real people go through. But sometimes we have nobody to talk to about those things. So it's keeping things real, Miss Claudia, just keeping things real, and at the same time hoping that it spices someone's relationship up.
Yes. Let me tell you, it definitely will get the emotions running, all the things, y'all. This is a Christian station, but y'all getting the point. So if you love, like she said, some lust, some romance, some thrills, and all the things, y'all definitely get these books, Sins of the Flesh and Secrets of a Suburban Chick. Y'all, the titles alone, okay? Self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. So look, Miss Stacey, now you're the founder of Stacey Thomas Unrestricted Unlimited. I love that. Come on, Unrestricted Unlimited LLC. Talk to us. What is that about?
That's something that came to me years ago, unrestricted, unlimited. Not to give people an impression that it means something bad, but for me, it simply means don't put me in a box. I have yet to see all that God has for me, and never, ever be surprised at what I may do, because as with anyone else in this world, we grow. So we don't know that we'll always stick to one thing. And that's what has happened to me. I'm thankful for that title because so much more has been going on for me.
Absolutely. Well, that's exactly what I took from it. Unrestricted, unlimited.
Right.
Period. And definitely you have truly, truly grown. And I've watched you over the years. I'm truly, truly proud of you. Now you're an ALS advocate. Why did you become an ALS advocate? And if you would, when you're talking about ALS, a lot of people don't know what ALS is. So if you could educate us on what ALS is as well.
Okay, so ALS disease, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is not well known in the African American community or minority communities. It is a nerve disease that weakens the muscles, takes away the ability to walk, talk, and eventually, at times, breathe. There's no cure for ALS. The percentage of African Americans that get the disease is a low percentage, but it is in the African American community, and a lot of times people aren't diagnosed properly. My mother, we did not know anything about this disease, had not heard of this disease. We had seen online the ice bucket challenge, but so many people were using it as a game that we didn't know the real meaning of it until my mother was diagnosed with it. By the way, is an African American, she was an African American woman, and it basically causes people to get in a position where they become a prisoner in their own body.
My God. So, what are some of the symptoms of ALS?
Well, I can only say the symptoms for my mother because from research and talking to other people and following other people, symptoms can be different. So, my mother, when other people saw her, she had started with her speech became slurred.
Mm-hmm.
If you walked up to her, you would think that she had been drinking, which she did not. She started limping. She said she was not in pain and she had not fallen. My mother had emotional outbursts, Miss Claudia. And sometimes when we notice people changing, instead of thinking that something's wrong with them, our first question is, why does he or she act like that? They shouldn't act like that. I'm guilty of that. My
Mm-hmm.
mother would have times that in the middle of conversation, she'd get very angry. She'd laugh when no one told a joke. And my only thought was, what made her do that? What made her laugh and nothing was funny? And then later, she had been to the doctor and the doctor said, oh, she's slurring because she's stressed. She's limping because she has a slip disc in her back. And I looked at my mother as time went on because her speech was getting worse. I said, Mama, if slurring was the problem, most of the people in this country would be, I said, if stress is the problem, most of the people would be walking around slurring.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. So after getting to the third doctor, because I am big on asking questions and I am big on not taking just one person's words, especially if they're not sure. We had a doctor that he should have said he did not know what it was instead of making up something, first of all.
Absolutely.
So we went to a second doctor, her primary care physician, and she was very honest. She had no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a third doctor. He did a test on her head, and he says the only thing we see is a little arthritis down the back of her neck, but that's not enough to say that's what's causing her speech to be slurred.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at us and he says, I think it's ALS. Miss Claudia, we didn't know what ALS was, but for some reason it didn't sound good. And in my mind, the way Stacey Thomas is, we're going to another doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And when I thought that, he said out loud, I'd like to refer you to another doctor. And that final doctor, so that's the fourth doctor, that's how we found out she had ALS disease.
Wow. Wow. You know what? This is very educational, and thank you for this. And it's very important. A lot of times, we just, let me say that was important for somebody because somebody's sitting at home and you see your loved one with some of these symptoms and you have no idea. So the more we talk about it, the more, people are being educated. So I truly, truly appreciate that. I did have a guest on a little while back, Justin, who is the CEO of the SOAR Awards. He's talking about some of his family members and how it's hereditary. So every so often you have to get checked. He was saying that. So, to be educated on some of these diseases like sickle cell, which I have sickle cell, and a lot of people are like, what's sickle cell? People just don't know, what's lupus, what's ALS.
That's right.
Y'all, we really have to educate ourselves on these diseases. So, Miss Stacey, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yes. So now look, you're an independent film producer and you have produced Teach Me How to Cheat. What's that about?
It's actually, you know how you do things and you go back and say, well, was that the right title? Because people get the wrong idea. Teach Me How to Cheat. Teach Me How to Cheat will surprise couples.
Mm-hmm.
It really will. It's one of those films, without telling too much, it's a short film. Uh, you think it means one thing, and then by the time you finish, if you really see what's going on, you see that it can actually help you in your house.
Mm-hmm. All right. Look, I tell you, y'all, she dropping gems today. She's dropping these gems. Look, where can we find this independent film?
That's on YouTube. It's under the Stacey Thomas Show, actually. And well, you'll see it because it's Teach Me How to Cheat, and it's about 17 minutes long.
Okay, awesome. So now you're talking about the Stacey Thomas Show. Talk to us. The Stacey Thomas Show, TV talk show and radio host. Come on with it.
So the Stacey Thomas Show, I say, is here to motivate, educate, and entertain. It's where I act as a bridge, not always receiving the blessing from my guests, but hoping my guests my viewers receive the blessings from the guests.
Come on. Y'all, let me tell you, this woman right here is on fire.
I love you.
I love you and I love all that you're doing. I tell you, because, here recently, I know that your publicist, Cyrus Webb, if you want to touch on that a little bit and all that you all have going on, because you're also in the branding business. Come on.
So Cyrus Webb is my publicist, who's Miss Claudia, who's opened a lot of doors for me, who's teaching a lot for me. He's teaching me a lot. He's actually now has my show on his radio station, WYAD, Mississippi 94.1. Cyrus is also coming to Petersburg, Virginia, if that's okay for me to say.
Absolutely. Come on. That's why you here, baby. Talk to us.
He's coming February 21st. And I try to tell people he's coming to teach segments on podcasting, marketing, and influencing. And when people say, like, okay, so what's the big deal about that? I'll tell you this. He's a top Amazon influencer. His show is in the high ranking on Amazon Live. He's on the radio. He just broke the World's Guinness Book of World Records. He knows how to market. He knows about podcasting. He knows about being an influencer because he represents hundreds of brands on Amazon. So that's going to be in Petersburg, Virginia, February 21st, starts at 10. 3 segments, $25 each segment. But if you stay for all 3 segments, take $25 off, $50 for all 3 classes. And another great thing is Amazon has donated gifts for Cyrus to give away at the event.
Look at there. Y'all can't beat that now. Let me tell you, if y'all about it, be about it. Let them know. Let them know now. How can they get them tickets, baby? Look, I'm telling you, anybody that's serious about building your business, building your brand, if you miss out on this opportunity, just know you're not serious. How can they get those tickets?
They can go on Eventbrite, look up The Power of Presence. Presence, Petersburg, Virginia, February 21st, or they can go on the I Am Stacey Thomas page on Facebook and IG. Hit me up and we can do Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, or Eventbrite.
Any way you can get the money to her, okay? That way.
Yeah.
And then before I let you go, the business block. We're talking about business. Everything is a business. So talk to them about the business block real quick.
Okay, so the business block real quick is me noticing that there are more businesses coming in my area than I know about and riding down the road and, God, can I interview the business people? And then the business block comes with me. Business block is a segment of the Stacey Thomas Show. It is where business meets purpose. It is a platform for business owners, entrepreneurs, and change makers in the community to advertise.
Look, if she ain't told y'all all you need to hear today, woo, come on. I love you, Stacey Thomas. Let me tell you, you're doing the thing, lady, and I am super, super proud. Let me tell you, God just, He is all over you and in everything that you're doing, because I see you. And I'm just so happy that it's all successful, it's blessed, it's organized, it's professional. It's Stacey Thomas. Yes, it's Stacey Thomas. Let them know how they can connect with you.
Okay, and real quick, Miss Claudia.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been a blessing for me since I came out with my first book. And I want to just say thank you for blessing me and having me on your platform. Not many people that see the books would say Stacey can come on a Christian platform, but I thank you very much. And people can follow me. I am Stacey Thomas on Instagram, Facebook, and the Stacey Thomas Show on YouTube.
All right. Look, and let me say, you say when people see the books, not too many people say you can come on a Christian platform. We're all human. We're all God's people. And let me tell you, if you're married, if you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter. You're still doing the things. You're doing the things, because let me tell you, we fall down. Some of y'all ain't married. You in the church, but you fall down and you get back up. So that doesn't matter. Life be lifing. And that's why we say we be reclaiming our lives. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, beautiful.
You are welcome. I love you. Thank you so much for stopping by the Reclaiming My Life show today. Y'all make sure you go to Eventbrite. Get those tickets for February the 21st. Look, if you're serious about it and want to be about it, it ain't no other place to be. I love y'all so much. I love y'all. And let me tell you, this will also air on Saturday. So look, Rejoice family, y'all get those tickets. All right. Love y'all. Until next time, y'all be blessed. And remember that you can reclaim your life.
You have just heard Reclaiming My Life with life coach and author Claudia Massey. To get your copy of Amazon's #1 best-selling book, Reclaiming My Life, visit www.contactclaudiamassey.com. And tune in each Monday at 12 noon for Reclaiming My Life with television and radio host Claudia Massey on WBTK 1380.